great sports car like this is akin to low flying, and that sensation is never more apparent than in an Ariel Atom. And now there's a new one. This, the Ariel Atom 4.
Hang on a minute. New?
Well, yes. I mean, the top section of the steering column, a couple of the pedals, and the fuel filler cap, fair enough, they're all carried over, but the rest, totally different. All right, not totally different, but whereas you could trace even the 3.5R all the way back to the Atom 1, this is clean sheet of paper stuff. The big thing that everyone's going to talk about is the new engine. Obviously, Ariel's had a history with Honda, and this is the latest Civic Type R engine, which is, of course, turbocharged. Chassis looks broadly similar, but actually wheelbase has increased slightly. The larger gauge steel tubing in this is obviously different, and that has knock-on effects in other things as well. So suspension, new suspension geometry. It's now got anti-dive and anti-squat, and you can see that from the pickup points of the suspension just down there, which are rather beautiful. The wheel sizes have also changed slightly on this car, so they've gone up an inch in diameter, both front and rear, and the rears are now 255 section, which is wider even than the old 3.5R. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes. And on this car, some very expensive but rather nice optional carbon fibre wheels. Other details, well, they're little things that if you've driven an Ariel before, you'll certainly appreciate and notice in this. Things like the seats. They're now not conjoined, separate seats, and you just sit a little bit lower, there's more adjustment, and they seem to hold you that much better as well. For a tall person like me, you sit further down in the chassis as well. We've also got a new dash, very nice readout on it, but it's got, again, little things. We've got automatic lights, we've got a sensor for them just down there. We've also got a key fob that you can just keep in any pocket and you can start it up. Keyless in an Ariel Atom. Now that might seem like an odd thing to think is brilliant, but previously you had a key fob you had to wave around on the dash, and inevitably you'd get all the harnesses on and then go, which pocket is the key fob? You don't have to do that anymore. So yes, a host of little changes that actually make living with this Atom much easier. Anyway, let's go for a drive.
Now, in the same way that the styling is a sort of incremental change, really, a bit like a Porsche 911. So the broad sweeps of the driving experience are, of course, very much the same. All the sensations that you love about an Ariel Atom are still here. The ability to see the suspension working away, the feeling of just exposure. I mean, you just feel that sense of fresh air, fun, and of course, speed. So what about this new engine then? Well, we've got 3 stages of boost up here. One gives you about 220 brake horsepower. Up to 2, we're up to 0.5 bar, and you get about 280 brake horsepower. And then up to 3, which is a full 1.3 bar of boost, and 320 brake horsepower, 310 pounds-foot of torque. Some people, no doubt, will be thinking that because this is turbocharged, it'll be very easy to tweak and get even more power out of it. But to be honest, once you've driven this in standard form, I don't think you'll want much more. Not 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds, 0 to 100 in about 6.5. This is so fast. Obviously the whole drivetrain comes from Honda. This gear shift, I think it still needs just a little bit of work. It's not quite as precise and slickly as before, particularly second to third. It's easy just to miss it. The first few miles in the Atom 4, you do notice it's just slightly calmer. It doesn't mean it's any less raw, but the steering is slightly slower, which just means you can pick lines. It's not fidgeting around. This car now weighs 595 kilos, which is 20 kilos more. But it's not all in the engine as you might think, so it's spread all over the car, so you don't really notice any increase in weight. As soon as you hit the brakes, you notice the lack of dive in the car, which is really impressive. Then you get to the corners, and you get this lovely feeling of really sitting in the suspension, of it being really quite plush. Now, a lot of purists, me included actually, I have to say, might think that turbocharging isn't really appropriate in this sort of car. So how does it change the Atom? Well, you can actually drive it around off boost and still be going very, very quickly. The sound, well, you've obviously got all these amazing turbocharged sounds. If you like chuffs and whistles, then this is the car for you. So in the corners, what's it like with turbocharged? Well, you've got to be really on it perhaps a little bit more, because when the boost comes in, it really does all come in. But the way the chassis changes as well, it means you can stay on top of the car more easily than before. With this new suspension geometry, what it means is that through the corners the car does stay much flatter. It's much easier to actually sort of keep on top of it. It's got a little bit of push at the front end, because obviously we've got that uneven weight balance for the engine at the rear. But it feels easier to push the car, easier to keep on top of it. And when it slides, it just feels more progressive. That slow steering actually helps. It just feels calmer and easier to position on the road and drive through the corner. Atoms have actually always liked being driven on the throttle, and obviously with more torque it's now actually even easier to do that.
So does the £40,000 Atom 4 really feel like a new Atom? Well, the tweaked ergonomics certainly make a subtle but pleasing difference. As for the new suspension geometry, well, let's put it like this. I think the old chassis would have been verging on undrivable with this monster of a new engine. Regardless of any numbers, this feels like the quickest Atom to date, perhaps excluding the rare V8, but only just. It is shockingly rapid, and as much as I still think a naturally aspirated engine is the ultimate match for this sort of car, I love the fact that the Atom 4 is demonstrably turbocharged. It wears its snail on its sleeve, so to speak. And the chuffs, whooshes and whines that emanate from the snorkel are pure turbo theatre. Ariel seems to have made the decision that if you're going to go turbo, then go all in. And I like that. So, while numerically it might be a small step from 3.5 to 4, in the land of Ariel, that 0.5 is more of a leap. It really does feel new.
What a rush this thing is. I love these cars. There's literally no bigger hit than something like this. It's blue skies, brilliant road. So much fun.